Today, we are going to take a look at the South African attack structure and what they're looking to accomplish. South Africa's base structure is a 1-3-3-1 attack structure. So if you're unfamiliar with what a 1-3-3-1 attack structure is, we have a slide for you here. So the 1-3-3-1, each number represents a forward or a pod of forwards spread out across the field. There's one forward in each 15-meter channel, and they typically stay in those 15-meter channels. On the interior of the field, we have two pods of three. And if you see here, look at the slide here, we have one pod of three off the 9 in red. Behind that pod of three, we have Pollard, the 10, in yellow. A little bit wider, we have the second pod of three, also in red. And then behind that pod, or controlling that pod, is LaRue, the 15, who's the secondary playmaker. So we have our two pods of forwards in red, and then we have our primary and secondary playmakers in yellow. For the sake of this video, the A ball is going to be the pod off the 9. So the pod off the 9 is the A ball. The B ball is the pod off the 10, just for the sake of the video. The 1-3-3-1 is a very direct attack structure that encourages conflict, right? They want there to be contact. That's what they're looking for here. Typically, you have a forward pack that loves physicality and wants to bully you across the game line. So the 1-3-3-1 isn't necessarily about creating large line breaks. It's much more so about creating 5-meter breaks, every other ruck that you run. That's kind of what it does. South Africa have spent time learning this structure for a few years now, and they've most recently added a new variation, which we're about to cover right now. Wow. So in open play, South Africa morphed from a 1-3-3-1, which is very direct and in your face, to what we are going to call a 1-3-2-1-1. This variation revolves around the deception of the second pod of three. This pod of three, or the B-ball, this B-ball morph into a two-man prong. So when it's three forwards, we call it a pod. When it's two forwards, we call it a prong. All right. So this pod of three, or the B-ball, morph into a prong. All right, which is two men. That third man breaks out and drops wider into the back line. We're going to call him the C-ball. So now we have the A-ball off the 9, the B-ball, or the prong, off the 10, and then we have the C-ball, which is wider and is dropped into the back line. Mamma mia! The prong's role is to commit and to slow down the central defense's slide. All right, so the slide defense, their job is to slow that down. If you actually look at how South Africa play, once the prong runs up and commits the defense, they'll actually get in between the defensive players, and they're running a dummy line, but their dummy line will just so happen to be in the way of the defensive slide. So it just makes the defense work that much harder to get around it. And that's definitely something that you can take a look at and say that was brought up in a coach's meeting. You know that for sure. And it's those small details that give South Africa, an extra 3 or an extra 4 or 5 meters out wide, which inevitably lead to a try. So this C-ball role, all right, that job is to attack the defensive axis. The defensive axis connects the central defense to the outer defense. The outer defense typically being a winger, maybe two players, and then the fullback behind. But it's typically, if you're on the outer defense, you're often on some kind of an island, right? So South Africa are looking to attack this defensive axis, specifically the inside shoulder of that defensive axis, and pin him and make it so he's not comfortable sliding, right? So this 13, or the defensive axis, it's not always the 13, but it is often the 13. So the defensive axis role, right, he wants to cover, all right, and use his slide defense to help out the outer defense. He wants to help out the winger, all right, but he can't do that if he has a loose forward barreling down on just barely his inside shoulder. So the key to the 1-3-2-1-1 is the two-man prong, manipulating and committing the central defense and slowing down their slide defense. All right, and then the C-ball, okay, attacking the defensive axis's inside shoulder, which doesn't allow him to slide. All right, South Africa are consciously making an effort to attack the opposition defensive axis.
I got it!
So, why are South Africa using the 1-3-3-1 and the 1-3-2-1-1 structure? South Africa is known for a very heavy, aggressive, and downhill running pack. Their pack loves contact, and they'll always love to challenge you at the gain line. The forwards benefit from the 1-3-3-1 because it allows them to be very direct in contact, and they only have to worry about what is directly in front of them. So with the 1-3-3-1, all what coaches want the forwards to do is worry about what is directly in front of them. So coaches often say, find the game inside of the game. All what the pods have to do is worry about this 7x7 meter, square 7x7 square meter space that's directly in front of them, and who is in that space. And all they want to worry about is how to beat those players. That's it. That's all they have to worry about. So they don't need to worry about what's happening 20 meters to the left, 20 meters to the right. It doesn't matter. All right, all the pods need to worry about is what's directly in front of them. The chess masters, or the two playmakers behind the pods, it's their job to worry about what's happening on a larger scale. All right, and they get to control the pods and tell them what to do and where to crash. So essentially, the pods only really need to worry about what's directly in front of them because the two playmakers or decision makers behind the pods get to worry about everything else. All right, and they're the decision makers, and they're the chess masters. So the two most dangerous shapes in rugby, you'll often hear this, is the triangle and the diamond. All right, South Africa are looking to create as many triangles and as many diamonds with their pods of 3 in the middle of the field as they possibly can. The danger of the diamond is the pull out the back. All right, and so when you pull out the back and you give it to the playmaker behind, you have the ability to attack wider. All right, so if Pollard sees, or the 10, all right, if the 10 sees that the central or the outer defense is not necessarily coming up, all right, when you attack with the A ball, on the next A ball, he might call for the pullback and attack wider with the B ball. Right, and so that's where it comes from, or maybe that's something that LaRue communicates to him, a ruck ahead of time. Hey, they're not coming up. Let's run this. Let's run the pullback. So the diamond is so dangerous because the defense doesn't just have to worry about who has the ball. They also have to worry about 15 meters away or just the outer channels because with the pullback, everything is always on. All right, in the 1-3-3-1, they're very confrontational, and the forwards are always looking to gain, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 meters at a time, and that's what the 1-3-3-1 looks to do. It just looks to break that down a little bit more. In the 1-3-2-1-1, there's much more deception, and they love to attack wider, faster. Teams often blitz or rush defense the B-ball in the 1-3-3. In the 1-3-3-1, teams often rush or blitz defense the B-ball to try and stop the go forward across the gain line, right? So they try and hit that B-ball as they catch the ball, right? So they have much less momentum. The 1-3-2-1-1 with the prong and the C-ball, okay, that adds much more deception. So what they're looking to do is they're looking to catch the defense in their commit to the B-ball, or commit to the prong before they realize what's really going on. And then the 1 or the C ball attacks the defensive axis. So the prong adds deception to an already powerful game, but the game has to start with the 1-3-3-1 in order for teams to commit to that B ball or the ball off the 10.
Mamma mia!
So let's wrap this up. South Africa have two prominent styles of play. They have the 1-3-3-1, which is very direct, and they want heavy ball-carrying forwards to cross the gain line repeatedly, being confrontational in contact. They always want to be positive in contact, having the defense on their back heel. They're essentially saying that the defense knows what they're going to do and come and stop us if you can. They also have the 1-3-2-1-1, which is built around deception of the second pod and how it morphs into a prong. The defense needs to commit to the prong, and then South Africa can attack just outside of the committed defense. The prong runs a blocker's line and counters the slide defense of the central D, exposing the defensive axis and leaving him on an island. Because of that, the C ball can attack the defensive axis, exposing the outer defense, which leaves them then vulnerable. So what do you think of the 1-3-2-1-1? Do you think this will be an effective attacking structure? How will South Africa fare in the World Cup? Let us know below. Is there a team you'd like to see Rugby IQ do a video on next? Let us know in the comments. I'm Jameson, and thanks for stopping by. I hope to see you again on the next episode of Rugby IQ.
Hey, you very good. See you next time.